Hey guys, Colby here. I um, I just kind of want to give a little bit of an update when it comes to the channel and just what's been going on and what will be going on in the next foreseeable few weeks. The last few weeks, I just got um, lazy. Uh, School was kind of kicking my butt. Had a lot of theater stuff going on, so I just kind of neglected the channel a little bit, unfortunately, and I was able to record some content in that time that I was actively working on editing. But for the next foreseeable few weeks, I'm probably not going to be uploading. It feels kind of silly at the moment, unfortunately, and my heart's not really in it. Um, if you're easily triggered by mention of violence, uh, gun violence, anything like that, I suggest you click off now. Um, Unfortunately, in on last Thursday, the April 17th, there was an incident at my college. Some of you might already know this. I do go to Florida State University. I'm a proud FSU Seminole. Go Noles. And there was an incident at FSU the other day. If you don't believe me for some reason, I work at FSU. I go to FSU. I have my FSU ID badge here for my job. If you do not believe me, but I'm pretty sure by the way I'm talking and the way I will talk that I don't need to prove myself going there. So there was an active shooter at FSU the other day, and unfortunately I was right there. I didn't see anything. I'm very thankful I didn't see anything, but I heard it all, and I was in the building where the shooting was right next to, partly in the FSU Student Union. It's still currently an active crime scene, and I was there, and I just want to get this off my chest and just kind of be transparent with you guys that this event was very traumatic for me, and at the moment it feels really stupid and silly to make dinosaur reviews at the moment. I just right now I want to be able to process everything and spend time with my loved ones and just kind of finish out the semester at FSU, because it's going to be a weird ending to the semester. I'm going to tell my story a little bit about what happened. I was in class, my geomorphology class, and I'm a type 1 diabetic. Some of you also know that. I'm a type 1 diabetic, and my blood sugar was dropping, and in order to avoid my blood sugar and having an emergency there with my blood sugar, I was like, I'm going to go run to the union. We had a little bit of downtime in class to work on something. I'm going to go run to the student union, grab a soda from the Jiffy store there. And I was in the union, in the Jiffy store. While I was leaving the Jiffy store with my soda, and I heard the 3 shots ring out. I didn't hear the first few shots because I was inside the building, and he was still further away. But I heard the other 3 shots ring out, and I heard people running and screaming. And so when I hear people running and screaming, I'm not going to stick around. I got out of there, and in that moment decision, I decided to run back to class to warn people, because the classes I'm in the EOAS building, which is the Earth, Atmospheric, Ocean Sciences building at FSU. Most of my classes are in that building. The student union's here and the EOAS building's here. They're right next to each other. So I decided to run back to class to warn people in case the shooter decided to come to EOAS next. I got back to class. I warned my class. We did what we could. Unfortunately, there's going to be stuff in the petitions and stuff in the comments. I'll make sure I link all that in the description. There's no locks on the doors at FSU, unfortunately. They're all on timers, and there was no way for us to lock the door, so we made the classroom look like it was an empty class. Nobody was in there that day. If anybody walked by, it was just an empty classroom. And me and 3 of the guys, we stood behind where nobody could see us from the door, but if anybody did decide to come in, we were there ready to try to subdue that person. They did decide to come in. and we were just in there until the police finally came and got us out. And I don't know how long we were in there. It felt like forever, and it was very traumatic, and I'm definitely going to need to go through some therapy in order to process all of this. I want to be transparent with you guys in order to let you know why there's going to be a dip in production. I tried to aim for a video a week, especially with June coming up and that being Jurassic June. I'd like to hopefully maybe be back by then. Just got to see how I'm feeling. I'm definitely going to need some assistance through this as far as mental health. I'm okay. At the end of the day, there's people who are going... everyone processes grief and trauma differently. I'm not trying to invalidate anybody. I'm not trying to invalidate myself. I went through this. I survived it. But there's two individuals who did not survive this event, and there's some people who are in the hospital. And those people are going to need, like, it's going to be different for them than it is for me and then for people elsewhere on campus. But at the end of the day, I'm walking away relatively unscathed. Some people are not. And so keep those people in your thoughts. People have been saying thoughts and prayers a lot. Unfortunately, thoughts and prayers are not going to be enough for a situation like this. What is needed is gun control reform, especially in the state of Florida. Obviously, thoughts and prayers are good but it's not enough at this point. We need active gun control reform, and just need to, hopefully things need to change. There needs to be change within our government and our society so things like this don't happen anymore. But I promise I'll be okay after some time. I'm gonna link down below the 2 GoFundMes for the victims. If you could share those, they're funds for their families and their children's, for the 2 gentlemen who did unfortunately passed away. I'll have those 2 GoFundMes linked, and then I'll also have the petition to put locks on FSU doors. There's a couple other petitions going around, like, cancel classes the rest of the year. The university's responding to classes as far as that. They're not responding to it the best. It's not what I 100% agree with. But I'm not like the type where, like, I want a free pass because this happened. In the perfect world, this wouldn't have happened. I would have finished the semester normally. And that's what I would have loved. But that's not what happened. That's not what you get. And the FSU is going to do what happens with classes. They're kind of leaving it up to professors. I've already had some professors be like, yeah, no, we're done, you're great, unless you want to try to get your grade up, you can take the final exam, but otherwise, like, I don't want to return to the classroom. I feel anxious about returning to the classroom, especially the class that I was in. I feel anxious about that, but that's something I will hopefully process through some therapy. If anyone does have any questions, let me know. If I sound out of touch, or like this is like virtue signaling, not virtue signaling, if this sounds like I'm just trying to garner sympathy or attention, I'm not. I just wanted to update my people on YouTube that aren't like following like my Instagram, my TikTok, whatever. Even though I barely post on my TikTok at this point, but I pretty regularly am on Instagram. I just wanted to update those people who are a little less involved in my life, what's going on, and update you guys that do watch me for the dinosaur content, what's going on. So I just wanted to kind of update you guys. Please, if you have a little extra money or just want to share, please contribute to those 2 funds. Please sign the petition to put locks on FSU doors at least. If there's any other petitions going around you'd like to sign, feel free. And if you do live in the state of Florida, or you want to help advocate for stricter gun control, please do that with your local governments and your governments in your area. That's the only way that further events like this are going to be prevented. So that's it. Thank you.